I would entertain a motion.
I motion of the previous meeting.
Have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Corrections. Page 6, right after Carly Boudreaux's name, it was omitted that I said, she stuck her tongue out at me. That's important to put in there.
Anything else?
That's it.
Any other discussion? If not, I'll ask for your vote. And that passes. Oh, Lisa, you voting? That passes unanimously. All right. Presentation for years of service. Mr. Klein.
All right. Come on down, Elaine. Don't you be sitting there talking to your family when we got business to do. Mayor, would you join me? Get from everybody. First of all, I'm going to give you your plaque, and that way you always know who you are.
Nice.
So,
Thank you.
Elaine McIntyre. What can I say about this lady? Now, she's been on council twice. Now, the first time she was on council, and she started in November 2001 to February 2006. Yeah, well, I just started as being city manager in 1999. And I was going to CMLs, and I watched this lady take every class that she could as fast as she could to learn as much as she could so she could get this Muni certificate. And we were at a CML meeting, and I can't even remember where, but she had all of her family there because she was getting her certificate. And she, when we showed up to the room and stuff, and I saw her family, the way Elaine, the professionalism, what this meant to her, because she wanted to be the good leader for the citizens of La Junta. And Elaine, you achieved that. And, you always played by the rules and did the right thing. And thank you very much.
Thank you. Boy, this is kind of heavy.
I think I've got my finger in the picture. Now,
Thank you.
Matt, you coming up? Oh, yeah, with Samsung, you can zoom in. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you got anything to say to these people on your part now?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll get up to the mic and talk from this side of the table.
Please state your name
Then
and
we
address.
have a special presentation from Ed Stafford. Wait till you hear this.
I just want to thank everyone, thank the community, and this is a wonderful place to live here in La Junta. Thank you, council members, as well, for continuing to serve this wonderful community that we have. I appreciate it, and I just know that you guys will take well care of this community. So, thank you. And I can't leave God out. Thank God and thank my family.
All right, Mr. Meloff.
My turn.
Oh, wait, no.
Let's bring in Ed Stafford. Now, Ed did a poem for La Junta. Now, we have his first poem back up on the wall. And he did this for when we had Colorado Preservation Inc. come down. There was all the state historians. And when I heard this, I knew the rest of us got to hear it again because there was air conditioning going and I didn't get it recorded right. And I was like, Ed, come on, man, let's do it for the public. So, Ed, I know you're going to do a great job for us.
After that, I had better, hadn't I? Thank you for inviting me. This is a poem called Where Are They Now? What's their delight about this town? Well, say, friend, you must be new. That's right. I'm homeward bound, just passing through. I parked my car just down the street, walked a bit, had a bite to eat. I've never been this way, you know. I like to visit with people I meet. You take that business over there, or the other around the square. I've seen hundreds as I drive. Some places die, some places thrive. Tell me, if you don't mind, what's special here? What sets your town apart? Two men on a summer day talk and pass the time away. You take this courthouse, so says the sign. It's just a box, modern design. Like so many, plain and fine. Another citizen standing by in wide-brimmed hat and coat and tie allowed that he remembered when the courthouse was a splendid sight that filled the square, where folks made laws, were sworn to office, folks speechified. You should have seen it then, he said, a Victorian masterpiece, brick and red. Yes, but, said the visitor, where is it now? A silence fell upon the three. Their gaze turned down the street and fell where once had stood the fine hotel where railroaders were wont to eat and rest between the clean white sheets. Now it was not. Now just a graveled lot. And turning farther, they remembered where the Harvey House had stood and where the Santa Fe bellowed smoke and wonder, now replaced by memories plundered. And there was a library of the Carnegie kind, classically handsome, but in the sign of the time, erased by election, replaced by improvements. Out with the old in the modernist movement. All wheres they looked, it seemed there was lost artists' grand structures, and at what a cost. And as they talked, they walked the town, looked at the buildings, upstairs and down, looked in the windows, opened some doors, read the for sale signs, checked out the stores, talked to their friends, gathered a crowd, and passed the stranger's question around. What's there to like about our town? They seemed to be looking anew all around and seeing anew so much of their town. The best was the time of their town's coming of age, eclectic revival of the Victorian age. The time of Queen Anne that was then all the rage. Massive were features that faced to the streets, steeply pitched roof shapes that made them complete. Wide, spacious porches wrapped around, oh so neat. Ornamentation made each front replete with bay windows and turrets and gables galore, patterned wood shingles and dormers and more, occasional towers, both rounded and square, said, these are enlightened about folks who lived there. There was pride in the building, pride in each home, pride in the workers of brick, wood, and stone, pride in the steeples and cupolas and columns, pride in the streets and bridges and fields, pride in hospitals where folks are healed, schoolhouse and playhouse, and many beside. Once upon a time, they all worked with pride. Looking at our town, they said, is it still so? What else is there, friend? I'm ready to hear. You mentioned the railroad. Were those the good years? The best, said the others. That's certainly so. The years of the railroads made our town grow. Then in the war years, troop trains overflowed. My ma took food to young soldiers who rode homesick and passing through, load after load. Now, there's a train through here twice a day, still making the run between Chicago and LA. Mostly it's freight now, windmills and coal, whatever, wherever, big lots bought and sold. Joined by others on that bright summer day, The group reminisced about times passed away, when the stentorian voice of that steam engineer called across the prairie, exciting to hear, spoke of parting and longing, adventure, romance, places exotic, and just the least chance of a dream realized, a fortune in trade. It's not done and gone, a bright lady announced. For a ticket boat here, you can ride all the way one way to the other, the whole USA. Let's visit the park. The suggestion was made. We can talk about our town in the comfort of shade. They collected a crowd, 24 or more, who were eager to listen and learn about more under the trees. A rare treat indeed. There are ducks here, a fountain, and the WPA built a stone wall around this green place where folks play. And banded together, they knew that they could accomplish much that they wanted and should, creating, conserving, preserving the old, but building anew, not just the same. In short, preservation is the name of the game. It's true we've lost buildings, got vacant lots, too many eyesores, too many ugly spots, but have you noticed, as we walked around, how pretty the flowers, how friendly the town. Stores on Main Street all need customers, true, but they keep on trying ideas that are new. That big old box store on the west end of town may be grabbing our money, but we ain't going down. So said the townsfolk. Wait, cried the stranger. I think I see clear. I'm new to your town, yet I think I see here. It's true there is much that is lost that once stood, but at the same time, you showed me the good. May I suggest, a suggestion, no more. Refuse to surrender what's left of before. I too am sorry for what you had that is gone down, but what you have shown me is that you are your town. You have saved many buildings. I won't list them here, but just drive around town and you will see clear. You know the worth of the fine and the old. I think you won't let your heritage be sold again, so cheaply again. Now you've got the idea. Preservation takes time. Dedication, you know. A community together, making it so.
Thank you, Mr. Stafford.
That was wonderful.
Thank you, Ed. That was wonderful.
Try and top that, Dean.
It's going to be really tough,
Mike.
really tough to follow that.
Now, this is the public hearing, but it's just for a transfer. It's not a whole new thing, right?
Correct. Just as a brief explanation of what's going on, liquor licenses and renewals, transfers, and new licenses all have different rules for what needs to occur at public hearings. In this case, we have a transfer of an existing license, so the public hearing is relatively abbreviated. It's limited to meeting the applicant, asking him a few questions, determining his good character, which has already in my mind been determined, and then moving on. So it'll be very brief, but if I'm going to do this wrong, I can tell already. Baljit Nagre, is he here? Here, come on up, sir, would you please?
Go, hurry up. Come on out. I thought they had cord back
I tried to get to where you didn't have to come up.
there. And who's on the Zoom, Rick?
If you guys can hear me, I would like to represent Baljit Singh.
Great.
Yeah, we can hear it.
What's his name?
All right.
Okay.
Michael, can you say your name for the record?
Yes, my name is Michael Nuanes, Nuanes, And I am Baljeet's representative. I am his business broker. I've been this way for about 8 years. We've done several business dealings together. And he also, I'm privileged to call him my personal friend. So if you guys will give me a couple of minutes, I'd like to tell you a little bit about him, and I will do that as soon as I get the green light.
Do we need that?
Well, we don't necessarily need it, but while you're trying to gather your thoughts, let me ask your client a couple of questions if I could.
Okay?
First of all, you are the prospective purchaser of Mr. D's. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Okay. Liquor store?
Yes, sir.
Where do you come from, sir?
Commerce City, Colorado.
Sorry?
Commerce City.
Commerce City.
Commerce City?
Yes.
Oh, so you're from the big town coming down to the little town, huh?
Yes.
Well, welcome. Do you have any experience in running retail liquor establishments?
Yes, I have a few stores before that.
Okay. Have you been through a similar type of public hearing?
No.
No. Are you familiar with the liquor codes in the state of Colorado?
Yes.
And are you maintaining pretty much the same staff that was being housed there by Mr. DeRiza?
Yes, I have all stuff.
Okay. Are you aware that the city of La Junta has a municipal code provision that says that if there are any disturbances on the premises, that you're obligated to call the police department right away?
Yes.
Okay. And you do that?
Yes.
You're careful about selling liquor to minors?
Yes.
Not going to have that problem at all. I have made a series of findings, and I'd like to just go through them with you if I could very briefly. See that you agree that the property is currently licensed as a liquor establishment, is that correct?
Yes.
And that it's not within 500 feet of any public school or parochial school?
Yes.
And that with the help of the clerk, you went ahead and published notice in the newspaper and put a notice on your premises? Did you do that? Did the town clerk help you with that, city clerk?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right, and then from your perspective, the closest outlet with a liquor license for off-premises drinking is the Loaf and Jug down the road about 1.5 miles. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right. Mr. Mayor, with regard to this matter, we have done our own due diligence in checking through the application and determining the applicant's character, which in my belief he is of good character and good moral standing. With regard to his application, it is in order. Fees have been paid. Publications have been made. He meets the criteria defined by state law, and it would be my recommendation that you favorably consider the transfer of the license to Baljeet Nagra, doing business as Punjabi 4 Corp.
Okay, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Is there a, do you have any ties to Yak and Yeti at the,
No.
no?
I know this Indian restaurant, but I never tried that.
Okay.
That's why my town.
I only ask because he's buying a lot of property and I thought perhaps this might be one.
They have a chain for restaurant. They have maybe 5, 6 in the city. They have Commerce City, they have Thornton, they have Brighton. They have all the city chain restaurant.
Okay.
Restaurant.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? If not, I'll ask for your vote. And that passes unanimously. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Michael. Yes.
Thank you. You guys make my job easy.
All right. Well, you don't blame the attorney. You know where they are.
Yeah, that's right. Enjoy.
Thank you.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Tell me he has to stay for citizen participation or it doesn't count. All right, the moment a lot of you might have been waiting for. I did have one person sign up to go first for citizen participation, so Cassandra, step up, state your name for the record.
Yes, I
Your 5 minutes started already.
I get an extra minute because I'm going to give a list to Betty.
Oh, thank you. That's a
So
big
you don't
deal.
have to try to hear me. And here's a cough drop for later when you start coughing.
Thank you.
Second.
say something thoughtful.
Don't be spraying the ground. Is it on? Okay. Thank you, council, for your service to the community and the opportunity to speak. I hate to beat a dead horse, but I am so concerned about the financial stability of our town. At past meetings, I have spoken about the necessity of the proposed sales tax increase. I have reiterated what we already know. Everything costs more when we shop and travel and dine out, buy vehicles, pay insurance. Everything the city purchases costs more also. That's why we need the sales tax increase, just to keep up with the costs associated with running a town. I've also discussed the need to keep all of our town's amenities, parks and ball fields, library, senior center, golf course, bus transportation, swimming pool. No one wants to live in a town without amenities. If these places don't exist anymore, then less people will come visit our town. That means less sales tax generated. More than half of our sales taxes come from outsiders, and sales tax is the only source of revenue our city has to operate. The amenities I mentioned are on the chopping block because they aren't necessities like police and fire and EMS, road crews, etc. But think about this. Right now, without the tax increase, we have just enough money to keep the necessities going. But if we lose visitors because all of our amenities are gone, then there are less sales taxes brought in. That means less for the city to operate on, and then the necessities will have to take budget cuts next. And if no one is coming to visit our town, then we as citizens are left to generate enough sales taxes to run our town on our own and keep it going. That won't last long before the town's broke. Excuse me? I did something this weekend that I never thought I would have to do. I looked at real estate in Lamar. I realized that if the city loses amenities, the desire to live in La Junta will diminish. My real estate values will go down, and I won't enjoy living here anymore. Now, I believed that I would grow old, or rather older, here. La Junta is the only place that I see myself living. To the average citizen, it'll cost about $100 or less a year. Isn't that worth it to keep our town financially sound? I desperately, desperately hope everyone will vote yes for the sales tax increase. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Cassandra.
Thank you, Cassandra.
Anyone else for citizen participation? I got one guy in the back coming up.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, I've been accused of saying things that I didn't say. I've been misrepresented, misidentified, which I can understand, and I'll forgive that since I'm an identical twin. Douglas Golding, 1316 Lincoln Avenue. I'm sad to make this statement, but many will probably be glad to hear that this will be my last comment and appearance at City Council after the recent critical rant I took by the city manager, basically saying that I was his problem in keeping him from doing the more important business. It is quite obvious that the Open Citizen Forum is anything but. If your comments do not support the approved narrative, they are apparently not welcome. I maintain that I'm not the problem, but rather the problem lay with the La Junta citizens who choose to rant and go off on Mr. Klein over a suggestion concerning the youth recreation program that I made. I told him to direct them to me. As of this time, 2 weeks from the last council, I have received no calls. If these citizens would bother to do a little homework, They would see by the 2024 budget that the rec program is not being eliminated, and I did not advocate doing that. If not me, then who was Mr. Klein's problem when the city decided to eliminate the library, senior center, pool, and golf course? These closures are also supported by that same budget. Wise saying goes, don't expect a different result if you keep doing the same thing over and over. If council, city manager, and citizens are not open to the ideas, even those that don't like, and willing to put them out on the table for discussion and consideration, well, we'll travel down the same road. I thank the council for the opportunity to speak, but fear this forum is little more than a positive pat on the back from some and a thorn in the side by others, and therefore is probably a waste of time and should be eliminated. Reporting on some of the things I said, it was not included any of the suggestions. It sounds like I come up here and I just criticize, but I give a city and council many suggestions to cut expenses, to raise revenue, things that have worked in other towns, and I haven't seen any of those. I will conclude with a few head scratchers. First, I did make the suggestion to close the 5th Street Refuge Transfer Station. Instead, the city decided to have it open the entire month of October, Monday through Saturday. If we are short of funds for required city duties, why are we spending money to do this instead? Second, the city is issuing tickets to citizens for weed violations when it itself is one of the offenders of the same ordinance. And finally, I'll conclude with the recent town hall meeting concerning law enforcement revealed police having their hands tied by federal and mainly state laws and mandates. How can we use this as an excuse when some of us voted for the legislators who passed these? If you want police to be able to do their job, then vote for pro-police candidates. Thank you.
Anyone else? Please state your name for the record, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Greg Coleman, 717 Bellevue. Here representing the Lahana Chamber of Commerce, just a huge thank you to the city of Lahana for everything you guys did to help us with Early Settlers Day. If I start naming departments, I'm gonna miss somebody, but I'm gonna try. Police, fire, electric, parks, sanitation, street, and anybody else that I missed. That's my bad. It was a great day. Never would have been able to happen without the support of the city. Called Lisa a few times to help us out. You guys all participated in the senior citizen lunch. It was just a great day, and just on behalf of the chamber, thank you to the city, thank you to the city employees for everything, guys. They really put in a lot of extra time, and we really appreciate it. So, thank you.
Thank you, Greg.
Thanks, Greg. Ma'am, if you'll come up and then, if you guys want to just start standing over there, that'd make it easier if you're going to speak.
My name is Robin Lopez. I live at 517 Santa Fe Avenue. I just wanted to give another perspective on if the A1 doesn't pass, or the 2A doesn't pass. I've been an employee for the Woodruff Library for 16 years now, a job that I love very much. I have wonderful coworkers, and I enjoy our patrons. I do not want to lose my job because this tax does not go through. We serve so many people at the library. If anybody doesn't know what we do there, please come visit the library and see what we do. And for the senior center, I just want to say I started doing swim exercise with Dawn when she started out very first, many years ago. Just want to say, please, everybody, if you can please vote for this 2A, it would be very much appreciated.
Thank you, Robin.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry, Robin.
Hi, my name's Connie Lopez. I live at 415 West 9th Street. I'm new to La Junta. I've been here for almost a year. I have family here, but I just wanted to advocate for the 2A for the citizens of La Junta to vote for yes on it. And the time that I've been here, I go to the library a lot. My kids do. We utilize every part of it. That's where we learned about the free movies that they had at the Fox Theater here, which I thought was pretty awesome. As well as I started a book club with La Junta, and I'm able to rent books there that are part of the book club rather than having to buy them all the time, which I think is pretty great. And I just wanted to point out a few things, hoping I would love to advocate for the 2A. Like I said, I've only been here for almost a year, and I think that these buildings are a huge impact for La Junta, as the woman said before, for people that come from, I'm from a big city, so it's just really cool to have this here. I take care of an elderly lady as one of my employment jobs. She uses the Meals on Wheels, which is provided through the senior center. I think it'd be really sad if that went. I was trying to see how many seniors actually use the Meals on Wheels in La Junta. I think taking that away would be devastating to them. As I can tell, a lot of seniors reside here. People live here, stay here, grow old here. I don't know why that would want to be taken away. And the swimming pool, it was packed for the summer, and I don't know how much income, like these are things I would love to learn. I just started getting more into this, but for the low income families that have their kids here, for the parents that know their kids can go swimming there from that time, why would that want to be taken away? I don't understand why people who live here would want that taken away. Like, this is something that you should vote yes on for everybody, you know. As well as, I don't know if you know, but La Junta is the second hottest place in Colorado to live. So why wouldn't you want to have that for the kids, as well as the swim classes are there for seniors and whatnot. The library has air conditioned. It's an entertainment place for low income families to rent DVDs, to rent books for these kids. These are just reminders as well that, and it's just $1%, a 1% of the dollar increase. Like, I just think it's just a penny more that's going to increase to keep these buildings that are part of La Junta. And the poem that he read, you reflect on that from a person passing through, and you have these amenities that are used, for people to come here and like, hey, this is great. It's a great library. It's a great senior center. Get involved. Help your seniors out. People that are caretakers and work for these individuals and know that that's utilized for them, and just the swimming pool itself. So I just think that the poem he read is a great reflection on why this should be a vote, a big yes for 2A. I know this is the third time coming through, and it's been voted no twice before. So just want to help advocate. So like I said, my name's Connie Lopez. I'd be more than happy to give you my phone number. Be more than happy to try to advocate for your town. I know that the Tarantula Parade's coming up. I think it'd be a great place to just try to talk to people and let them know, like, hey, I know a lot of out-of-towners come into La Junta and they shop here. I'm a big local person. I like to shop locally. Even though I come from a big city, I support small businesses more than I support corporate. So I try to do that as well. But thank you for your time. I appreciate you all. I hope you have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can we have your phone number?
Yeah, absolutely.
Where'd you come from?
California.
From LA.
I love LA too.
Can you write your number down?
Yeah, absolutely.
you very much for that.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Did you say South Valley?
Yes, so I came from Azusa, which is like in between Pasadena and Orange County almost, but I've lived all up and down California, and I'm from a small town, Paso Robles, which is now like a huge wine country, but I was from a small town, so I know what it's like, and that's why, like I said, I'm a big advocate person to support small businesses more than corporate, so just, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Colin.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Hello, all. Those of you up here definitely know who I am, but for those that don't, I'm Dawn Block. I'm the coordinator for the City of La Junta Senior Center. And I have a few just did you know about the Senior Center. Did you know that since 2015, 620 people have taken our big trips? Several of you in this room have gone on our big trips with us. We've taken trips to Branson, Boston, San Antonio, Albuquerque, San Diego, Memphis, Nashville, Branson Christmas. Just this last spring, we went to Mackinac Island, and we've been to Mexico. Currently, we have 514 members from, just bear with me, La Junta, Swink, Rocky Ford, Manzanola, Fowler, Pueblo, Pueblo West, Los Animas, Chirag, Canyon City, Fountain, Kim, Parker, Thornton, Wiley, Model, Colorado Springs, Trinidad, and as far as the way as Groover, Texas. Did you know that the Colorado Rockies have senior days? Some of you here have been to those. For 6 years now, we've been able to get Rockies tickets for $12 and then $13. And these are not cheap seat tickets. These are bottom level, right underneath the shade. So they're awesome tickets. Pre-COVID, we also took 2 buses. So that's about 50 people that we were hauling to Rockies games. We have chair yoga, Tai Chi for balance, our water exercise, and exercise classes. These are all free. They don't cost our seniors anything. Flower arranging classes, wreath making classes, stepping stone workshop, and we just started our life storybook workshops. We have a garden club, we have a bird watching club, we have a Chinese cooking class, and we have a free movie tomorrow night at the Fox at 7 o'clock for those of you that don't have anything to do. We are able to do this because most of our instructors donate their time. That shows the partners that we have with people like the Fox and Marty Fleischhacker at Promenade. We do receive a $12,000 grant from the Lower Arkansas Valley Area Agency on Aging. That allows us to do a lot of the programming that we do, but if we don't have a building, there's no programming. We have free Wi-Fi. We provide shelter from the cold, heat, rain, snow. We also have walking space. Did you know that 3 laps in our building is equal to a half a mile? In 2022, we had 19,130 people through our doors. Through mid-August of 2023, we've already had 11,201 people. At the end of 2020, we took 61 members out of our database.
Sorry.
Compared to 30 the year before. I can't stress how important socializing is. AARP just recently put out an article about well-being for seniors. So, the senior center, the pool, the library, the golf course, we're a package deal. It's all or none. Thank you. So even if you have never attended or used any of these facilities, or if you've used all of them, I encourage you to think about your vote. It's going to affect so many others besides just yourself.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Don. Question for you, please.
Absolutely.
What are the membership requirements?
50 years old.
As you hit 50, I guess I can join in another 11 years, right?
You can, yes.
Yeah.
Actually, we have a standing joke at our house that when all of our friends turned 50, they got memberships to the senior center. So it's a good thing.
Hello, my name is Chad Penner, and I live at 1105 Bellevue. And I am not an advocate for 2A. I don't want to go into all the reasons why. I personally don't think we talk enough about how we're going to save, like everybody else has to talk about in their families. If the families have to save and cut back, I think the city probably needs to do the same thing. And maybe you guys have talked about how you're going to save and that kind of stuff, and where you're going to cut back, what hard decisions you're going to have to make, but I don't know that I've heard any of them. Also, bringing up the matter of Mr. Vila last week, I would hope, just thinking about that you all, the council and the city, would show the same zest and zeal for matters at the pool and the library. My wife was at the pool this summer, and it was ladies swim, and there was a man there, male, with a bikini top on, with his child, or somebody's child, who knows whose it was. So I would like the same attention to be put in the library for that kind of stuff, because there's books in there also. Swimming pool, basically those two. Hopefully that stuff isn't a problem at the golf course and the senior citizen center. But I do thank you guys for the hard work you do. It's work that not a lot of people know about. You guys got to face a lot of angry faces, and you are the decision makers in a lot of the stuff, and you got to live with the decisions. And I applaud you guys for standing up and doing that.
Thank you, Chad. Hello, my name is Lisa Trigilio. I reside at 25 Chaparral Circle in La Junta, and I am the program director at Fort Lyon. We are a residential community for recovery, and I'm here to invite each and every one of you to come to a celebration that we're having. It's on October 11th. It's between 11 and 2, and I gave you some of these. There is a QR code that you can use just to register. All you have to do is say that you're coming. You only have to put your name. We're just trying to figure out how many people we all are going to have for lunch. But we are providing free lunch to everyone, and we just want to celebrate the great work that we have done. We've been there now for 10 years. We have served over 2,700 residents of the state of Colorado, and I would like people to come out and learn the truth about what we do there instead of some of the things you hear that may not be accurate. We really have changed so many lives, and we have so many residents, former residents of our program, that are successful in this community and others. And we have over 60 employees out there now. We actually even operate the facility. We took over all the maintenance, which was Benton County, but now which is Colorado Coalition for the Homeless, do that as well. And I think probably 50 to 60% of our employees reside in Otero County in the city of La Junta. So I hope that you would take the time to come out and just see what we are. We're a great resource for people that really want to recover. We know that there are issues in our society, and this is a place for help, and it is a resource. So I just want to invite you.
And Lisa, how many people over the 10-year period have you guys service?
We're over 2,700 already. Currently, we have about 195 people out there.
Our capacity is about 225 at one time, men and women. So they just have to be a resident of Colorado.
They don't need, they can be from here and
Yes.
be referred out there?
Yeah, we have a lot of people that are referred by Valleywide, I almost said Southeast, but Valleywide and other entities, the hospital and so forth. Yes.
Take homeless?
Yes, yes, and it is a 2-year program. Recovery is hard, and when you're only given 30 to 60 days, it's just really challenging, but the 2-year really does give you a chance, but recovery has to come from within. We can't make them recover, so we just really help try to support them. And then we have people that fail, and they come back again. Some don't, but I mean, the majority, if they fail, they're like, well, I didn't do it this time, and I want to try again, and we're there to support them again. So,
Thank you, Lisa.
And a lot of those people, when they get done with the program and they've been exposed to our area, do they want to leave? Or do they go back to the areas they came from, or stay in our area?
It depends. A lot of people want to go back to where, into the big city. Depends on where they're used to work or living. A lot of people, however, we have what's called Friends of Fort Lyon, and their meetings in La Junta, Los Animas, and Lamar, and it supports former residents. So it gives them recovery support, and as well as, they are struggling, what can we do to help you, to improve? So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
Thank you for coming, Lisa. This was nice, and hopefully a lot of us can make it to that. But would you be open to coming back again and getting a little bit more in depth for us?
Anytime you want me to, just let me know. I live down the street. It's super easy.
Thank you.
And I love talking about it because I'm very proud of the work. So
Thank you.
thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
My name is Toby Tyler, 703 Adams, and as 2A is written, I'm not in support of it, but I am in support of the senior center and the library. So this makes it kind of difficult. You put people in into a difficult situation where it's an all or nothing. I don't know why it couldn't have been written better, because I do support the seniors, and they have paid their taxes. So they should be rewarded with benefits. And the library is to educate our community. But I don't know when the government got involved in golfing. I know it's an amenity, and I know it's fun for certain people, but if it's not profitable, why are we doing it? Like what Chad said, when you have to cut back as a family, you cut back on excesses, things that you shouldn't be doing. Now, maybe it's a way to bring in people into our community, and it's great if we can afford it. But has anybody looked into other communities where it's been an asset, where they've made money, made a profit? I know it's a dirty word in government. They just like to increase taxes, but is there a way to make it profitable, where it makes money for the community? That would be great. Now, I know the pool was very busy this year. My kids used it. And so I'm in support of that too. But when you've got to cut things, I'm not necessarily sure that the 1% increase is going to pay for these things. And if they do, how much longer is it going to pay for this? The cost of everything is going up so fast. You can increase it 1% now, but is that going to cover it next year? The year after that? And will you guys be going back begging for another 1% and then another 1%? I mean, I shop local. Unless there's something you can't buy here, I always buy local, even if it costs more. I'm a businessman. I want people to use me, and so I use them. I just don't know if you guys can even solve this problem. Because it may be out of your depth. Maybe you should start asking professionals, experts. I mean, Lamar seems to have a really nice golf course, and maybe it makes them money. Has anybody asked them? Yeah? Well, I haven't heard any of that addressed. But if you can't afford it, maybe we shouldn't do it. But the senior center, I mean, I totally support that. Totally support the library. I'm iffy on the pool, and I'm a definite low on the golf course. I mean, so you put voters in a no-win situation. We can't just vote for part of it. It's either all of it or none, which is why it's failed the last 2 times. Maybe you guys should think about how to word things and change the wording. But that's just my 2 cents. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Bethany Bender, 802 Carson. If you have been to the previous meetings, you would know what my opinion of 2A is, so I'm not going to state it today. But what I do want to state is I have agreed with multiple people up here that you would be surprised by. I want to thank everybody who showed up to this. The camera can't see it right now, but I would say we have more people than what we have in the past few months from what I remember leading up to 2A. I do want to say that, I'm sorry, there's so much. So I do want to say that honestly, the people who are here and who care about our community are going to do what's best for it. I want us to take a step back from La Junta specifically and look at the economy of the world and where it's at right now, right? Inflation is going up everywhere. I know people from big towns moving to small towns everywhere. So it just really depends on what those families are wanting and looking for. And I'm going to end on a call to action for the people who are in their late 20s to 30s to early 40s to come and get involved in your community. Because if you don't want this sales tax to pass, if you don't agree with it, then you need to be contributing. You need to be saying what stores and restaurants and retail that you want, because there's many solutions to this problem. It's not a one-fix-all. That's all I gotta say. Thank you.
Thank you, Bethany.
Good evening. Mitch Cruz. I built in a house at 702 Smithland. I am a 1978 graduate of La Junta High School. Just moved back in November because I wanted to be close to my mom. I lost my mom a couple months ago. But she attended the senior center religiously. 4 times a week for exercise, 2 times a week for Tai Chi, dinners. She was involved. That's the kind of stuff that people around here need. I myself, I use the library, I use City Park. Anyway, I'm preaching to the choir, but 2A should be a positive vote. It should be something big for La Junta. We got to keep this town going. We got to keep it growing. We need to get back to the way it used to be. So, anyway.
Thank you, Mr. Cruz.
I sure do miss your mom, Mitch, and your dad.
Hello, Angela Ayala, somewhere over there on San Juan, around the 1500 block. I am coming to tell you guys today about the 3rd community cleanup that I have organized for our community and inviting everyone in the audience to roll up your sleeves and pitch in and help out. It's going to be Saturday, September 23rd from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. The meetup point is WW Feeds in La Junta. I'm a big social media person, and I have heard through the grapevine that we don't like the Christmas trees on Highway 50. So instead of complaining, I am a doer. If I do it by myself, that's okay, but I really hope all of you will come and help me. We're going to take care of the Highway 50 corridor. Our hope is to start at the Wallace station, closest to the turnoff to, what is that place? The Anchor plant?
Shell.
Yeah.
The Shell station, sorry. And we're going to start there and work our way on both sides of Highway 50 as close to the bridge as we can get. The reason this is important is because when people drive through our community, if you haven't been here before, you're going to think that Highway 50 is all we have. I really think that We're bringing a lot of outsiders in for the Tarantula Fest, for Early Settlers Day, for the art project. I'm a firm believer in putting your best foot forward, picking up trash, painting curbs and gutters, painting the crosswalks. All of this are things that me and many others in the community have already started to do. So if this is something that you are interested in, it's going to be Saturday, September 23rd at 7 a.m. The meetup place is WW Feeds. We already have permission from the appropriate entities to be on the property. I have a huge group of college kids coming to volunteer. I hope you guys will join us as well.
If you're able.
If you're able. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela.
Anyone else for citizen participation? Yes, Betty.
I didn't catch where we're meeting.
WW Feeds. WW Feeds, across from Safeway.
Oh, now I got it. Feeds.
Mr. Mayor, maybe by just a show of hands, we're not used to having all this citizen participation, both verbal as well as just being in the audience. Be interesting to see who's in favor and who's opposed to 2A. Anybody got the guts to raise your hand one way or another?
All in favor?
Can I take a picture?
I think Adrian has it.
Does he?
No. Oh. I'm sorry, Adrian.
We're looking at you guys.
Most people have raised their hands for email.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming out. And just so you know, when you guys do citizen participation, that's us taking in the information. So don't feel offended if we don't respond to you or we don't answer you. It's just us taking in your information. So thank you for that. All right, Mr. Maloff.
Mr. Mayor, for the council's consideration on second reading, an ordinance amending mandatory surcharges in municipal court.
Do I have a motion?
I motion.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, I'll ask for your vote. That passes unanimously. Mr. Maloff.
Mr. Mayor, Inspiration Fields doing business at 612 Adams Avenue has requested a special events permit for September 30th, 2023 for their Hall of Fame banquet from 1 p.m. to 11 p.m. The application is in order. The fees have been paid. Publication's been done. City management recommends favorable consideration.
All right. Do I have a form? Yes. Okay. Do I have a motion?
A motion to approve the application for this special event for Inspiration Field.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, I'll ask for your vote. And that passes 5-0. Mr. Vila has went to the back of the room. Mr. Maloff.
Mr. Mayor, Inspiration Fields doing business at 612 Adams Avenue has requested a special event permit for their Monster Bash costume and dance party currently scheduled for October 28th from 7:15 to 11:59. The application's in order. The fees have been paid. Publication's been made. City management recommends favorable consideration, and I'd ask the council to note that I'm already wearing my mask.
Do we have a motion?
A motion to approve the special event permit for Monster Bash costume and dance.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, I'll ask for your vote. That passes unanimously. Mr. Maloff.
Mr. Mayor, Inspiration Fields doing business at 612 Adams Avenue has requested a special events permit for their Sip and Shop, currently scheduled for November 4th, 2023 from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. That application is in order. Publication's been made, fees have been paid, and city management recommends favorable consideration.
Do you have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the application for a special event permit by Inspiration Field.
I have a motion. No?
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
The event is the Sip and Shop to be held November 4th, 2023 at 9 a.m.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, I'll ask for your vote. That passes unanimously. Mr. Maloff.
Mr. Mayor, Inspiration Fields doing business at 612 Adams Avenue. Isn't it interesting that in all four of these applications they're still doing business at the same place? Just thought I'd point that out. For the CCOM Secra Christmas party, currently scheduled for December 8th from 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. As previous, the application's in order, fees have been paid, publication's been made, and city management recommends favorable consideration.
Do I have a motion?
I motion to approve the application for Inspiration Field.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, I'll ask for your vote. That passes unanimously. Mr. Maloff.
Mr. Mayor, the state of Colorado has adopted a program known as Proposition 123. That program seeks participation by municipalities and other governmental entities in providing for updating of their zoning ordinances and for providing acceptable and affordable housing. That resolution, as presented to you, is simply a statement saying that the city of La Junta opts to participate. At this point, there's very little that needs to be accomplished from a financial perspective, although there could be monies that are going to need to be dedicated at a future time. City management recommends favorable consideration of this resolution.
You need to add to that?
Do you have any questions?
Do you have any questions? I opted in for everyone on September 8th, but it does not count for anything until you vote on it with a resolution. And just, do you mind if I give you a little bit more information on it? Would you like that?
It'd help the audience.
Okay.
It really would.
All right. So resolution number R11-2023 allows us to join forces with our 6-county region under a newly formed regional housing authority led by Stephanie Gonzalez, CSED, to become eligible to tap into a portion of $478 million of affordable housing funding available through the Department of Local Affairs and Colorado Housing and Finance Authority. And just so you know, La Junta has already sort of fit into what they call these requirements. One is La Junta has already updated its entire zoning code to allow for higher density in its zone district. The city is active in removing blighted homes from its existing neighborhoods and allowing for infill development next to existing utilities and infrastructure, so we don't have to put any of that in. Rick has done that for years through EPA. The city has also adopted fast-track review policies for the creation of affordable housing. The city took part in regional efforts in 2021 through 2023 to build affordable housing across the 6-county region, and it is proposed that we continue this work. And our previous successes with Michael Yerman's revised code for the city and Rick Klein's EPA work allows us to tick off all of the qualified strategy boxes. We don't need to do anything more, all right, to qualify for this program. The counties and other entities, governmental entities, will have to do that in that 6-county region. So that we wouldn't lose this opportunity, I've submitted a placeholder application for us as of September 8, 2023, with permission from my supervisor, Rick Klein. Without a vote of support from City Council, that placeholder application is null and void, and we lose the potential for funding. And that's the reason why this resolution is in front of you today.
You know, the workforce housing project where we built the 83 houses throughout southeast Colorado, 3 in La Junta, the sales of those buildings went back into a pool to build more housing. And it's truly needed all the way through every community in southeast Colorado. The other communities and counties are working on unifying their land use codes to make it similar to La Junta, so when a developer comes in, that he has one set of rules, and that makes it so much better for him. And we chose CSED, Young, to be the entity to run this regional housing authority, because they were the ones that helped us with the workforce housing project, and they did a wonderful job. The feds loved it, the state people loved it. they had their act together, and we can solve some problems in southeast Colorado and in La Junta by creating this regional housing authority and being able to access this funds. Without the regional housing authority, we won't be able to get to these funds. I'll tell you that right now. Okay, thank you.
Do you have any idea how much money we could get?
No.
No, not right now.
Thank-
And, everybody's opting in right now, and so it kind of depends on how many people opt in, who are they, what their needs are, and then we go into competition.
And how well organized they are.
Yes.
That's the other thing.
And you're the expert on that to make sure we get a bunch.
That's right. Jeez.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Do you have a motion?
I'll make a motion, we accept resolution R11-2023.
Have a motion, do I have a second? Second. Have a motion in 2 seconds. Who won it? Damon? Okay. Have a motion in a second. Any discussion? Not I'll ask for your vote.
Can you ask a question during this?
No, but I'll let you this time.
Okay. Thank you, because I just had a question. Are the other houses that are built already, are they being lived in?
Some are, some aren't. Like I'm hearing, like the ones up in Ordway that.
I'm in La Junta.
Yeah, in La Junta. No. They just got their COs. They're finishing up, but they still have landscaping to do and some other things before they put them up.
Okay.
But they're about ready to go up.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, committee and board reports. Any committee and board reports? I'll have some after this week, but I don't have any. Moving on, city manager comments.
All right. Well, first of all, with council, we need to set a budget workshop. And please, whether you're for 2A, against 2A, come listen to the budget this year. You'll see the cuts we made, the situation we're in, and how we get out. So is there a certain date you would like to do this? About the only night I can't this Thursday.
No, I was gonna ask if
Yes, ma'am.
there's still plenty of the proposed budget that Elisa created. That's
Oh, the hard
show,
copy.
Yeah, what's gonna happen if it passes? What's gonna happen if it doesn't?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I'll tell you what, we went through the presentation today a couple of times, and I was impressed with what Lisa came up with to give the clear picture and how we got here. So,
Shonda, I also wanted to say the proposed budget is available on our website. We have uploaded it, so anybody that wants to go to the website can look at the proposed budget that has been uploaded.
Is that City of La Junta public notices?
No.
It's just city.
What is it?
No. It's
website.
It's cityoflahunta.org.
LaHuntaColorado.org.
Huh?
LaHuntaColorado.org.
LaHuntaColorado.org. It's
Okay.
our website.
And
Sorry, I just Google it and then click.
And then the 2023 budget is there as well, so if anyone wanted to download that to see the cuts that we did.
No. The 2023 budget was accepted. The cuts were done after that. However, the financial status of the city as of 8/31 is on the same website. And if you pull that up, it will show you the current budget that we are working with. And that is the budget with the cuts that were made.
Okay, so just compare them.
Yeah, it's just the budget is the official. And then when you adopt it, we don't make a new budget book. We just put it in the financial. And those are all up for all funds.
Is revenue in there also?
Yes.
If it passes or fails?
Yes, that is the yellow section of your book as well as page 6 of section 2.
No, I mean on the website.
It's the identical budget. I even got the colors right. I was all proud. So when it says yellow, it's really yellow. So that is all available on our website.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. So what day looks good? Not Thursday.
Are you talking like this week?
This week, next week?
Next week too.
I won't be here next week.
Next Tuesday.
You won't be here next week. And a lot of it's on when Paul gets better too.
The first week of October?
What does Friday look like?
Friday I can't.
No, never on a
This
Friday, please.
This Friday.
I'm out too.
You're in town? Wednesday?
This Wednesday?
Wednesday?
And try and get a hold of Paul
Oh.
too.
Okay, I sure will. 6 o'clock, 5:30, we want.
Yeah.
When?
Wednesday.
That's up to you guys.
Oh,
5?
So as early as possible.
5 o'clock?
Yeah. This
Okay.
Wednesday, 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock Wednesday. Should either be by your computer or be here or be nowhere.
the 20th?
Yes.
Okay, so since I gave this out on the city manager's comments. Oh, yes, Lisa just told me, after we do this budget, Lisa and I, we're going to go the next day on Thursday, and we're going to get on Facebook Live, and people that have questions or anything like that or concerns, get with us, let us answer your questions, and solve the concerns, get the right information out. Since I made up this, the Brick and Tile Trail, it's been awarded to TLM Constructors, and today we were able to order the bridges. And if anybody knew how long that we've been working on this project since 1997, to get to this point, that really was a milestone for me. Now, when we were doing the pre-bid and stuff, everybody except for TLM was saying that it would be 6 months, 8 months out for the bridges. They found a source that they could get them in 8 weeks. So, this project should start to come off pretty good. And it was done by grant, 100% grant. That was none of our monies. Okay, and for the Brownfield grant, which is a $500,000 grant, and where we can work with private sector to identify, test, get a cleanup plan with cleanup costs, and then they turn you over to a EPA grant. That's 80-20. You pay 20% of the cost to take out all the contaminants that were there. Then you can move on with your building, whether you're going to rehab it or tear it down or whatever. You'll never get a deal like this. I'll guarantee you. I've never seen a program like this. So that's one reason we're going for it. Weeds, just like the gentleman said. Yeah, we're behind on weeds. Everybody is, yes. But it's the end of September. We'll do it one more time, everybody, and get this done and make our town look good for Transfer Fest. We're done. Please, let's try to get it. We are too. And I hate weeds. So, okay, we're working with consultants, on the federal funding and to help with the water mains, water meters, and valves and stuff in our water system. To us in order so we don't have to raise rates up again and stuff. And if you talk to any community out there, they all have cast iron mains they're trying to get rid of right now.
Is that the Build Back Better program?
And it's with the Build Back Better program. Yes, sir.
That is it.
Yep. And after this, I bet you we don't see money like that for a long time.
Joe Biden.
We are redoing Carson Avenue between 1st Street and 5th Street. Now, why did we decide to go with that? We couldn't get a chip seal program this year going. That county had their equipment break down, and I know that's hard on them, but so this one has good infrastructure underneath it. It has good water main and good service lines, and so now we can redo the street. You will not see us tear up streets unless we can get that water main and stuff replaced. It drives me and everybody should be crazy when they see somebody, city come in, pave a road, And then 3 years later, they tear it up to put a water main in, because it'll never be the same. We don't do that.
That's all city employees doing that?
And that's all city
How
employees.
come we didn't go to contractors, what I've been getting a question on?
Because we're trying to do it in the house and save money and train our new guys on how do you build streets and take care of them and maintain them. It's a great deal.
It's a good answer.
Yeah. The pool closed 6th of August, and we had dog day from on the 12th from 11 to 1. Football has started. Volleyball practices have started. The art project in the city of Lahaina had a 3-on-3 basketball tournament, which was a success. I've heard nothing but everybody wants to do it again. And I want to thank Zeke Ayala for all of his efforts on the downtown with the art event. And if you didn't see him today, he is down there painting a beautiful tarantula. So we have to go down and look at it.
More.
Huh?
There'll be more.
And there'll be more. With our good lawyer, we were able to pick up 218 Harriet. It's the one right next to the car wash, and you'll see that somebody had already started tearing it down and stuff. And we've turned that over to the EPA. We're trying to get them to include it on their list this year. Now they're coming in this next month to tear down 5 different structures, most of them on our east side. And but we're the last one, so they're going to reevaluate their budget, and if they have excess funds, they're going to try to add on more houses for us. Which everybody talks about the EPA, but they've been nothing but good to us. We hosted a crime hall meeting, and I'll tell you what, I wasn't able to attend, but I did watch the video afterwards, and I thought you did a great job. You had great questions, and I think everybody should have been satisfied from what they heard.
Just real quick on that. Not more than 2 days after we had this crime town hall meeting, we had an attack in our city park in broad daylight. Now, from what I've been told from our chief and deputy chief, is this person wasn't local, but he had ties here. Okay, Adrian, I believe, has all the warrant and all that out on his website. But it doesn't matter if they're local or if they're just passing through. That should not be tolerated here. You guys should all feel safe utilizing our parks, our facilities. I was able to go on a walk last night with my dog behind the high school. And as I was walking, I was thinking, a female probably couldn't do this and feel safe because you're secluded, you're in an area where no one's really around. And that shouldn't be the town we live in. Mrs. Haugen at one of our town hall meetings say we need to take our town back, and that's absolutely true. So if you guys see something that doesn't look right, doesn't feel right, it doesn't seem right, make sure you say something. All right? We can't have these kinds of things happening in our town. It won't be accepted, and hopefully we find this person and we get him the punishment he deserves and the justice the victim deserves. So I just wanted to add that in too.
Thank you. Okay, and last week we had rural philanthropy days at the college and up at Rocky Ford. And we had all the major funders that were here. And for 2 days I watched Cynthia pitch hit for the tennis courts. Even to people that she knew that probably don't say no, but she went in there anyway and took the no and then said, thank you, what else can you do for us? And it's that type of tenacity that you need to hit funders with to keep getting funds to come in. And they had a session on capital stacking. And I heard different towns going, what's capital stacking? What's capital stacking? Well, let me tell you, like the intergenerational park. Cynthia Neve went and got 2 major grants, and she saw she needed matches for them. She went to other people and got the matches for them. That's capital stacking. You stack these grants up until you had enough money to pay for it without paying your own money. And so when you look at that park, that I have mamas coming up and telling me how their kids are playing on that and how much it means to their children and everything. Thank you, Cynthia, for your tenacity to get all those funds to pay for that park without it coming out of taxpayers' dollars from La Junta or the Tri-County area. And with that, I'm open to questions. And we're trying to do as much patching as we can, but we got a street to build now.
Rick, who's responsible for the porta potties at the kids' park?
That is actually, we're in conversations with Big W right now of why is he leaving them on trailers.
Not only
So we
that,
want
but
those-
And cleaning.
and
they
cleaning
were
them.
gross.
Yes, they're supposed to be serviced, and we're
Daily,
checking
or?
on, no, I think twice a week yet, but we're thinking they haven't been.
Yeah,
So
that's
we are-
part of his
Are they clean today, or?
I do not know. Well, Brock was working on that because we saw the post on, he saw the post on Facebook and stuff.
Yeah.
And we take it serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
So, no, thank you. Yep, because we didn't know that they weren't doing it.
Any other questions for Rick? All right, governing body comments. Any governing body comments?
I do. I got to put it up here. Okay. The 2A for LJ Committee is currently planning a community outreach for the Tarantula Fest, and they're waiting for confirmation on a dunk tank. And the committee would be honored and grateful if those city council members and department heads would show their support by volunteering for a shift in the dunk tank. Our good-natured mayor has already agreed to participate.
Only if Rick did.
I'll do it, but get me in early.
Okay.
Because, you know, I promised my daughter I was going to work her place.
Okay, all right, I'll let them know. And then when we have, well, when they have more details, the co-chair, D. Labo, will email the information out. And that's it.
What about the city attorney?
Well, I'm going to be there, but there'll be a long line of people waiting to throw things.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how many people got out there and then they couldn't hit me and they just kept paying the money. I loved it every second of it. I was like, come on, man, you can do it, you can do it. And the more you tell them to do it, they couldn't. Until one walked up and slapped it. Don't ever do that.
Any other governing body comments?
I have some to say. I just want to thank the community members that are coming out to these meetings. Like it's been said, it's been more and more people coming out, and the people that speak, I want to let you know that we are listening to you. Like Joe said, we're not really in a response mode there. We're listening to your concerns, listening to what you have to say. Whether you think we're listening or not, we are, and we take that stuff into consideration. So I just want everybody to understand that. So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for showing up.
Yes, thank you all for showing up. Now, we aren't going to adjourn. We are actually going to go into executive, but we're not doing any business afterwards, Adrian. So,
Thank you.
who has that?
So before we adjourn, we need the motion.
Just read it off.
No. Someone read the. Please, would someone read the executive session?
I motion to move this committee into executive session for the purpose of determining positions relative to matters that may be subject to negotiations, developing strategy for negotiations, and/or instructing negotiators under CRS 24-6 402 4E.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All right. I'll ask for your vote. And that passes unanimously. Thank you all for coming out.
For Lahaina City Council and the people of Southeast Colorado with your Southeast Colorado news, I'm Adrian Hart.